I've been gambling through all of my payouts recently. I got a $5,000 payout on TopStep just about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago across four accounts, 450K funded accounts. And then I proceeded to blow those payouts and then eventually given a bunch of my profit back and then some back to TopStep. It doesn't feel too good, but trading is a game of ups and downs. Success itself is not linear, meaning you're going to have new highs being created, and then you're going to have pullbacks, obviously, and sometimes you might even go through a period where you are just, it's a bearish trend, per se. If you guys know, you guys know. And so, with that being said, at all times, especially if you sign up for this game of trading, you have to understand that you have to analyze your performance on a daily basis, and every day it is you against you, right? Please don't think that this is you versus some guy you see on social media. Even me, I'm just here to share my thoughts and really just clear my head. I just finished up at the gym and I just pulled up to a local park and I'm just filming a video now. I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update of where I'm at right now, where I'm at in my journey on the road to 100K. If you guys are tuning in, I don't know if you guys are, but I'm doing a short series where it's a road to 100K, and of course that's with prop firms, and I post on IG, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Follow me on all platforms, Polo Evolve. But yeah, with that being said, I got into trading about 6 years ago, and I got into trading obviously because I wanted to make money. One of my boys, he actually showed me trading. And he recently just got a $30,000 payout from, I'm not gonna say the name, but he actually got a $30,000 payout, which is it was really good to see, because we kind of started at the same time, and we made a lot of the same mistakes throughout our journey. But just recently we kind of went on our own path, and that's necessary in anyone's journey. You need to go out onto your own, I guess you can call it like monk mode or ghost mode or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so, when I just spoke to him recently, he showed me like, oh, I got $30,000 worth of pay. I'm like, damn, that's pretty solid. Like, and again, at this point in my journey, like I am getting payouts and I am getting funded. It's not that, and I don't want to compare myself to him. Of course, he's put in the work, and I don't feel like I'm behind either, because again, I'm able to get payouts. It's just that I need to scale up now. And every time I do get payouts, I feel like I self-sabotage myself, almost as if I feel like inherently, or like deep down, I feel like I'm actually not worthy of getting these payouts, and maybe that's the disconnect. I'm not too sure. I'm still trying to figure it out, but nonetheless, a lot of the mistakes that I made when I give my profits back, and this has happened like maybe 3 times in a row now. Like start of January, I got a payout of, I don't even remember, I think it was like 1,800, 1,500 or something like that, and then I proceeded to, and I was up on the account afterwards too, but I got greedy, and that's my biggest downfall, is really just the greed. And I got greedy and I ended up giving all the profits back and then some, and then again I'm doing the same thing over again when I got this $5,000 payout, and then I'm throwing a bunch of the money back into the prop firm. And it's all due to the fact that I'm greedy, I'm over trading, and I'm not following my trading plan, right? So every time I do follow my trading plan, I'm able to get payouts no problem. And right now my trading plan is really just taking about 3 entries max every day. I have a 3 trade limit on TopStep, and I would trade either NQ or gold. Those are really the 2 instruments that I like to trade, and usually I will only trade New York session, obviously when the market opens at 9:30, and then maybe I'll be off by like 10-15 max. But recently, I guess with the floor tensions, there has been a lot of volatility in Asia session, and don't get it twisted, I have been able to get some wins in Asia session, but overall I feel like it's not a good session for me. Why? Because I also work 4 to 12 a.m. so I'm like working a job. It's from work from home, but so I'm able to obviously have my laptop on the side and I can look at the charts, but at the same time I just want to focus on one thing at a time, and I want to make it as stress-free as possible. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I only stick to that one time frame. So yeah, 3 entries, 2 instruments, $300 loss limit every single day. So I'm only looking to risk about $300 max, and I have obviously the loss limit set on TopStep. And that usually works well for me because I'm able to get 1-to-1 Rs, or like 1 to 1.5 is usually my sweet spot. If I can get 1-to-2s, but my win rate will take a hit. And so I like to have a high win rate because it's good for my psychology, because at the end of the day, the more wins I get, the more confident I feel, and it's just better overall, better for my psychology. And with that being said, the times that I follow my plan and I actually set my my risk settings every single day, it usually works out pretty lovely. Even going through losing streaks, it's not too hard for me to make a comeback, because again, every day I can come back to the markets fresh. But I noticed that once I get a payout, I feel like I need to up my risk. And this also has to do with the fact that, I see other traders on social media and I see that they're making all this money. And, it does mess with my head. So every time I notice that like I spend more time on social media and I'm looking at these traders making all this money, I end up, I guess my mindset gets swayed to thinking that, oh, I need to start hitting home runs rather than going for base hits. And that really just fucks up my trading all in all, really. It's not a good thing, because what ends up happening is these home runs, usually, like, for the way I trade, home runs are a rarity, right? And I'm not really looking for home runs because I'm really scaling in my entries onto like the 5 minutes to 1 minutes, even like obviously at 9:30, like candles are moving, so 1 minute candles can be easy 20, 30, 40 pips or points on NQ, so it works out lovely. But anytime I go for a home run, it just usually doesn't go my way, and then I end up over trading, over risking, all this bad stuff, and just I end up blowing my account. And I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments, maybe you guys also do something similar. I know everyone, in terms of psychology, they usually have their own little problem that they need to figure out. For me, it is definitely greed, because there have been so many times where a trade will be in profit, but since I'm chasing a home run, I don't even secure profits, and sometimes I won't even move stops to break even, or even if I do, I'll get mad because I know that I could have had a 1-to-1 R, and instead of securing that win like I usually do, I'm chasing that home run. And so when it hits me at break even, or I take a loss, like this is where I go on tilt, and just overall just bad. But with all that said, I'm just simply analyzing my behavior in when I win and when I lose. And these are some things that I've realized about myself. And really the beauty of all of this is I've realized that when I stick to my trading plan, and this will apply to you guys as well, when I stick to my trading plan, it goes well. Trading goes well, it's stress-free. I'm not really stressed about the result in and of itself, because I'm focused more on the process. And that's what every good trader will tell you, is that they don't really focus on the P&L. They just focus on coming to markets every single day, taking their setup, sticking to their risk management plan, sticking to their instruments, their time frames, only trading within a certain time slot. And yeah, just overall just sticking to their trading plan. Make sure their mind is sharp. Understanding how they feel emotionally will also affect them and their performance on the charts. And that's all it really is. I know it may sound, honestly, it doesn't even sound complicated. It sounds very simple, because it is very simple. We as traders, we just like to overcomplicate these things. And this is what I've noticed about my trading recently. I don't know if you guys can relate as well, but there's also one thing I realized about myself, is that even every time I get like discouraged, or I get like I take an L in life, it doesn't even have to be with trading, it can be with like anything. Every time I take an L, I might feel down for a little bit, but I realize like I'm just not someone that's gonna quit, because the thought of me quitting and just succumbing to life and just working a job for the next 40 years and having to listen to someone tell me what to do, and only making enough to barely survive and barely pay my bills, and just living overall just an average life, which, again, if you're living an average life, I'm not trying to shit on you or anything like that. I'm just saying that's not for me. And there is some sort of spark in me that always ignites every time I'm down, every time I take it out, every time I'm down for the count. I seem to just get back up over and over and over again. And so that's why I know that I'm really built for this. And I'm really just putting it out there. That right now I may not have the proof of the pudding, but in the future I most definitely will. And you guys will, I'll probably post this video in the future, when I hit my 100K mark, my 100K goal for the challenge that I have going on right now, the road to 100K. But yeah, I just want to come out here and give you guys a little bit of an update. You guys let me know in the comments below, did anything that I said in this video resonate with you guys? You guys going through the same thing? I don't know, man. Just let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and stay frosty, my friends.